Greetings, candidates, and welcome back to the lesson. We will continue with the topic Public Sector Investment and Enterprise Management. In our today's lesson, we're going to analyze the second subtopic, which is Monitoring Performance and Statutory Reporting for Public Investments. Monitoring Performance and Statutory Reporting for Public Investments in Kenya. That is our today's lesson. Monitoring performance and statutory reporting for public investments. So those are two things, monitoring performance. Then we have statutory reporting, monitoring performance and statutory reporting for public investments. We'll start by looking at the monitoring performance for public investments. And monitoring performance and ensuring robust statutory reporting, these two things are very important components of the public investment management framework in Kenya. You understand? These processes, monitoring performance and statutory reporting, are processes that are essential for tracking the progress of publicly funded projects. They are also essential for assessing their effectiveness and impact, and ensuring accountability in the use of public resources, and also providing transparency to citizens and oversight bodies. Monitoring performance. So the legal basis for these activities is primarily found in the Public Finance Management Act and also the Public Finance regulations. You understand? These two, the basis for these processes is in the Public Finance Management Act. Now, let's have a look at monitoring performance. Monitoring performance. Now, monitoring the performance of public investments, monitoring performance of public investments is an ongoing process that spans the entire project life cycle from planning to implementation and beyond. We are discussing public investment. This could be public projects, could be investment in assets, and so on. So the goal of monitoring performance is to ensure that projects are on track. It is to ensure projects are on track. Is to ensure projects are delivering intended outputs and outcomes, and that the projects are managed efficiently and effectively. That's the objective of monitoring performance for public investments. So one key aspect, we're talking about monitoring performance. So one key aspect of monitoring performance for public investments is tracking progress. Tracking progress. Monitoring involves regularly tracking the physical and the financial progress of projects against approved plans, right? Against budgets and against timelines. If the government has budgets, if the government has projects, if the government has approved plans to achieve certain objectives, then it's important to track the progress, is to monitor, all right? monitoring performance. It involves regularly tracking the physical and the financial progress of projects against approved budgets, approved plans, and timelines. And that helps identify delays. It helps identify cost overruns or even deviations from the original scope or the original plan. So that's one key aspect of monitoring performance, tracking progress. 2, assessing value for money. That's another aspect of monetary performance, to assess value for money. Public investment monitoring aims to assess whether public funds are being used economically, efficiently, and effectively to achieve the desired results. And that involves evaluating the costs incurred against the benefits realized, and so on. Assessing value for money. Assessing value for money. 3 is identifying and addressing challenges. Identifying and addressing challenges is another key aspect of monitoring performance. Monitoring helps in the early identification of potential risks, bottlenecks, and even challenges that could hinder project implementation or impact its success. And prompt action can then be taken to mitigate such issues. 3, 4, quality assurance. Quality assurance. Quality assurance. Monitoring includes assessing the quality of work being done and ensuring that projects meet the required standards, they meet the required specifications, and so on. Quality assurance. 5 is impact assessment. Impact assessment. Impact assessment is also one of the key aspects of monitoring performance. While full impact evaluation may occur after project's completion, monitoring can include tracking indicators that provide early signs of the project's potential impact on beneficiaries and the wider economy. You understand? Yes. Impact assessment. Impact assessment. Now, let's move to discuss briefly statutory reporting. Statutory reporting. Statutory reporting. Statutory reporting. Now, statutory reporting of public investments ensures that information about the use of public funds in these projects is regularly provided to the relevant oversight bodies and the public, the members of the public. Statutory reporting. And that promotes accountability, that promotes transparency, and so on. That is what should be noted as we look at statutory reporting, that it is a process that is very important, because through statutory reporting, the relevant oversight bodies get information. The public also get to know what public funds, how public funds are being spent. You understand? And that promotes accountability. It also promotes transparency. And the key reporting requirements include Reporting requirements. Statutory reporting requirements include reporting by accounting officers. One, reporting by accounting officers. Reporting by accounting officers. Accounting officers of state organs and public entities are the ones who are responsible for implementing public investments and so on. So the accounting officers of state organs and public entities responsible for implementing public investments are required to maintain proper accounting records and proper financial statements that reflect the expenditure of the projects. And these reports are submitted to the National Treasury and to the Auditor General. You understand? Then number two, reporting by the National Treasury. Reporting by the National Treasury. Reporting by the National Treasury. The National Treasury has a central role in reporting on public investments because it is the National Treasury that consolidates the statements, the financial statements from various entities, and then prepares reports on the overall performance and status of the national government's public investment portfolio. And the Public Finance Management Act requires the National Treasury to submit various reports to the National Assembly, including the various reports, including financial statements and reports on the execution of annual budget, which would encompass expenditure on public investments. So that is the second reporting requirement. The law requires the National Treasury to consolidate the financial statements of various entities and give the status of the projects. So that is the second reporting requirement. Reporting by the National Treasury. 3, reports to the National Assembly and county assemblies. Reports to Parliament and county assemblies. Parliament, the National Assembly is for the national, it's for the national government investments, and also the relevant county assemblies for county government investments. And these two, the National Assembly and the county assemblies, provide they exercise an oversight role through the review of budget proposals, the annual financial statements, and also the audit reports, because these are legislative bodies. The National Assembly and the county assemblies are legislative bodies that play a critical role in scrutinizing the allocation and the utilization of funds for public investments. 4 is the Auditor General reports. Auditor General reports. The Auditor General is constitutionally mandated by the mandated to audit the accounts of all government and other public entities. That is the constitutional role of the Auditor General's office, and that includes auditing the expenditure on public investments to ensure that funds have been used in accordance with the law and that value for money has been obtained. So the Auditor General submits audit reports to Parliament or to the relevant county assemblies. Auditor General reports. That is another reporting requirement. Now we are analyzing candidates' reporting requirements for statutory reports for public investments. Then last we have public access to information. Public access to information. Public access to information. The Public Finance Management Act and the Public Finance Management Regulations emphasizes transparency. And the Public Investment Management Information Systems is intended to provide a platform for public access to information on public investment projects, promoting citizen participation and oversight. All right? And oversight. You recall, candidates, we talked about the key aspects of monitoring progress. And one key aspect that maybe we skipped, which we need to include here, is the PMIS. The PMIS, which is the Public Investment Management Information System. Public Information Management Information System is one key aspect of monitoring performance, the PMIS. Now, the Public Finance Management Regulations mandate the establishment and maintenance of the Public Investment Management Information. And this system serves as a crucial tool for monitoring public investments by providing a centralized platform for collecting, storing, and analyzing project data. It also facilitates real-time tracking of progress and generating reports. And it is important to note that the responsibility for day-to-day monitoring typically lies with the implementing entities. The implementing entities, those entities that are implementing projects, have the responsibility to provide day-to-day information or monitoring. The responsibility for day-to-day monitoring typically lies with implementing entities and the accounting officers of relevant state organs or public entities that are undertaking the projects. And the National Treasury, through its Public Investment Management Unit, also plays a key oversight role in monitoring the overall public investment portfolio. The National Treasury, through Public Investment Management Unit. Public Investment Management Unit. Public Investment Management Unit. So these are key aspects of monitoring performance in public or for public investments. Understand? I'm bringing out PMIS and PMU because of the public access to information reporting requirement. I've said that the PFM Act and the PFM regulations emphasize transparency. That's why we have the PMIS. And we've said that the PMIS, which is the Public Investment Management Information System, is mandated by the Public Investment Management to maintain the system, which serves as a tool for monitoring public investments by providing centralized platform for collecting, for storing, and also monitoring public investments. So it's a platform that has information. It collects data about public investments so that the members of the public can access that information from a centralized platform. So that's all candidates for the subtopic on monitoring performance and statutory reporting for public investments. In this lesson, we've stated that monitoring performance. We say that monitoring performance of public investments is an ongoing, continuous process that begins or spans the entire project, the entire project life cycle, from planning to implementation and beyond. And the goal for monitoring performance is to ensure that projects are on track, projects deliver intended outputs and outcomes, and that projects are managed efficiently and effectively. In this lesson, we've highlighted some of the key aspects of monitoring performance. One is tracking progress. Number 2, assessing value for money. Number 3, identifying and addressing challenges. 4, quality assurance. Number 5, impact assessment. Number 6, you have PMIS. And number 7, PMO. Then we've gone ahead to discuss the statutory reporting requirements. One requirement is reporting by accounting officers. Accounting officers who are responsible for the execution of public investments projects are required to provide reports of the projects. Number 2 is reporting by the National Treasury. Reporting by the National Treasury. We say that the National Treasury has a central role in reporting on public investments because it consolidates financial statements from various entities and then prepares reports on the overall performance and status of the national government's public investment portfolio. Number 3 is the reports to National Assembly and county assemblies. Reports to the Parliament and county assemblies. Parliament for national government investments and relevant county assemblies for the county government investments. They exercise oversight through the review of budget proposals, annual financial statements, and audit reports. These two are legislative bodies. They are legislative bodies which also play a critical role in scrutinizing the allocation and the utilization of funds for public investments. Then we have the Auditor General reports. The Auditor General reports. We've said that the Auditor General is constitutionally mandated to audit the accounts of all governments and other public entities, and that includes auditing the expenditure on public investment to ensure that funds have been used in accordance with the law and that value for money has been obtained. Then this Auditor General submits audit reports to Parliament or other county assemblies. Then lastly, we have public access to information as a reporting requirement for statutory for these public investments. We've stated that the PFM Act and regulations emphasize transparency, and the PMIS is intended to provide a platform for access to information on public investment projects, which promotes citizen participation and oversight. That's all candidates. And in conclusion, we can say that monitoring performance and statutory reporting, monitoring performance and statutory reporting. These are mechanisms for public investment in Kenya that are designed to create a system of checks and balances, a system of checks and balances, which ensures that significant expenditures are planned, are implemented, and accounted for in a manner that promotes transparency, effectiveness, and accountability in the pursuit of the national and county development plans. So that's all for our today's lesson. We'll continue sharing knowledge in our next session. I hope to meet you then. Bye-bye.